Bipolar disorder, the functions, attributes, and the way it affects lives. What are the thoughts, feelings, and structure of the brain of someone with bipolar disorder? The brain of someone with bipolar disorder functions completely differently compared to a brain of someone who doesn't have it. According to an article by Clark Luke and Barbara J. S., titled Cognitive Neuroscience and Brain Imaging in the Bipolar Brain, structural brain abnormalities in the prefrontal cortex have been confirmed in postmortem studies with an MRI. The prefrontal cortex mentioned in the article serves the purpose of planning ahead, contributes to personality development, impulse control, and the predicting of someone's consequences to their actions. The main traits of bipolar disorder are evident, concluding that the part of the brain that controls these functions really hasn't developed properly. Bipolar disorder is often identifiable by extreme episodes of mania and depression. The state of mania often contains, but is not limited to, impulsive decisions, increased spending on unnecessary items, the diminished need for sleep, and the urge to not only inflict harm upon themselves but on others, including many other traits of mania. The traits of depression episodes are usually not finding pleasure in things someone normally would. The weight fluctuations, according to appetite changes, insomnia and hypersomnia, and the feelings of unworthiness and guilt. These episodes of higher lows make it extremely hard to find necessary structure in one's lives and make it difficult to perform everyday tasks. The social life of someone with bipolar disorder is extremely hard to navigate, mostly caused by the feeling of being misplaced or unwanted. Another trait that the patient and or person with bipolar disorder has is hyperfixating on one person, making it hard for that person to have good relationships with their family and other friends. What are the long-term effects without proper medications? There are many long-term effects of untreated bipolar disorder, but the few main ones are, according to an article by Healthgrades, losing the ability to work, substance abuse issues, and suicide. Loss of work can be caused by the feeling of being unwanted, which ultimately leads to the lack of motivation to finish tasks. Say you're working at a factory and the just over and over again thing, and you can't really focus on it anymore. Substance abuse often occurs due to lack or overload of emotion put on a person due to either depression or mania, to get a sort of high to distract them from what's going on mentally or from their surroundings. Take my mother, for example. She is bipolar and she's had substance abuse issues for the last 13 years and just now got out of rehab for it. Suicide is one of the most concerning outcomes and or risks of bipolar disorder and can lead that the bipolar disorder can lead to without proper medication. Finding the right medication for someone with bipolar disorder is a necessity. If not, the outcome could be a life or death situation. All in all, bipolar disorder is not to be taken lightly. I know people make jokes about it, like, I'm bipolar, look at me, like, I have mood swings, but it really isn't that. It changes lives, and personally, I didn't understand my brain until I tried to commit suicide last year and was put into an institution. And after I got out, I started researching it and trying to understand why my brain worked the way it did. Bipolar disorder can cause hardships, like serious harm and hardships throughout a person's life. It changes the structure of their brain, and it can affect the way one functions in everyday life, and the long-term effects without proper medication can be extremely fatal. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder when I was 7, and up until the last 6 months of my life, I really didn't understand it. I was extremely suicidal and had thoughts of self-harms. But now I have meds and support and structure in my life, and I have proper research to thank for my recovery and happiness.